Hey everyone, and welcome to another Rooted Online. You might have noticed that this is actually going out on a Wednesday because it's been an extra special week with an Easter weekend. I hope you had a brilliant time with your family and got to enjoy the sunshine. Well, I wonder how you are this week. This week, I'm going to ask you, which Donald Trump do you think you are today? Have a quick look at those 10 options. Which one best sums up your feelings at the moment? Maybe it's number 2 if you've been spending a bit of time in the garden. I've gone a little bit too pink. Maybe it's number 10 if you've managed to beat your siblings at another board game. Maybe it's number 9 because you've been spending a lot of time washing your hands during this coronavirus outbreak. Well, the other question I want to ask is, have you got any Easter chocolate left still? I wonder if any of you look like this over the weekend, getting to chow down on loads of eggs, loads of chocolate. I ate an entire bag of mini eggs the other day and it was amazing. Has anything upset you or made you sad this week? It can be pretty tough listening to the news and hearing about people dying around the world. Maybe you've been finding it extra tough not being able to see your family, not being able to see your friends, missing out on things you'd usually be able to do. It's been pretty difficult, hasn't it? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I told you that when things are hard, one thing I do is that I pray. And praying is a bit like calling into war headquarters for help when things are difficult in a battle, knowing that the person who is there is listening and able to help you when you find yourself really struggling. And then we looked last week at the idea of, well, does God even care? If we're talking to him, is he actually even bothered? Well, we saw that Easter Sunday tells us that he really, really is concerned. Good Friday, Jesus died, and Easter Sunday, remember that he rose from the dead to give new life to anyone who trusts in him. Well, that might be true that God will deal with suffering and death totally one day, but that does leave us with a bit of a question. What about now? Well, I want to tell you a story that we find in John's Gospel, chapter 11. You might remember this because we've done it rooted before. It's the story of Lazarus. Lazarus and his sisters, Mary and Martha, were friends of Jesus, and Lazarus became really sick, and they sent for Jesus to come. Well, as Jesus was travelling, he heard on the road that Lazarus had died. Jesus carried on and he met with Mary and with Martha, his sisters. And Jesus said this to them: I am the resurrection. I am life. Everyone who believes in me will have life, even if they die. He was giving them real, genuine hope for Lazarus. But it wasn't just hope for the future, it was hope now. Well, as Jesus saw how people were reacting to Lazarus' death and how upset Mary and Martha were, it says this: Jesus cried. Jesus wept with those sisters at the loss of their brother. Well, when they got to the tomb, Lazarus had been dead for a few days. But Jesus called out, Lazarus, come out. And Lazarus did. He came back from the dead. It's impossible, isn't it, for anyone to do that, anyone other than God himself. Jesus showed his great power over death by giving life to Lazarus. It gives us incredible hope for the future that Jesus has beaten death finally, and that we get to trust in him and get through that life forever with him in a new kingdom where there's no more death, no more pain, no more suffering, no more sickness. But I want you to look back with me a bit earlier in the story when Jesus cried with Mary and with Martha. Now you might have thought, yeah, that's understandable. But Jesus knew that he was going to raise Lazarus. Why did he cry? If he knew he was going to give life again to Lazarus, bring him back from the dead, why would Jesus cry? Well, that's because death and sickness are not the way the world was meant to be. It's a broken world now that we live in. One day God is going to make everything right and get rid of those things that are so painful. But for now, God is concerned and he cares about the sickness and suffering and sadness in the world. He cares about the things that we find hard, that break our hearts too. He cares about those who are losing their lives and those who are sick. So as you suffer and as you find things hard this week, please think about crying out to him, talking to him, knowing that he has the power to do something about it. God cares about the brokenness of the world, and he is the only one who can do anything about it. Well, we've been giving you a challenge every week. This week's challenge is the Not My Hands challenge. I wonder if you've seen people doing this online. This is Zoella and her brother. What you have to do is get someone to put their hands either under your arms and sticking out forwards, or get them to do a t-shirt like these guys have done. And you're basically giving them control to be your hands while you do certain jobs. These are the things that they did. You can find their video on YouTube if you want. They brushed Zoella's hair and her teeth and did some of her makeup. Well, I wonder if you'd like to have a go, maybe with a sibling, maybe you want to do this for your sibling, maybe you want to do it with a parent. These are the things I think you guys could do. Let someone do your makeup. Let someone brush your teeth for you. Let someone brush your hair. Let someone feed you a yogurt. Pretty dangerous maybe, but I think it'd be loads of fun to have a go at trying this with somebody else in your house. I think I'll see whether Curtis will let me do this for him as well, and we'll try and film it too. If you get a video of this and you want to send it in to us, send it through the Facebook page, the Rooted Facebook page, from your parents' account, or get them to drop me a message so that I can share those videos on our Rooted page. And don't forget to keep an eye out on the Rooted YouTube channel, the St Andrews channel on the youth channel through there, the playlist, for more videos and challenges that you can watch and enjoy at home. Hope you have a brilliant week, everybody. Thanks for listening.